Welcome to my channel Mintage Mysteries, where every coin has a hidden story. If you love discovering hidden treasures and uncovering coin secrets, you're in the right place. We're on a quest to solve the puzzles behind the world's most fascinating coins. From rare errors to legendary rarities, let's dive into the mysteries of numismatics. The 1995 Washington Quarter Dollar is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 as a one-year commemorative issue marking the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. However, due to its favorable public reception and elegant design, it was adopted as the permanent design for the U.S. quarter dollar coin, replacing the standing Liberty quarter that had been in use since 1916. The Washington Quarter would remain virtually unchanged for nearly 7 decades, making the 1995 issue a representative example of the series' late classic period, just 4 years before the introduction of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. The obverse front of the 1995 quarter features a bust of George Washington, the first president of the United States, facing left. This portrait was designed by John Flanagan, a noted American sculptor and engraver. Flanagan's rendering of Washington was based on a neoclassical marble bust created by the French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1785, widely regarded as the most lifelike and accurate representation of Washington. The Houdon bust was originally sculpted from life at Mount Vernon and later served as the model for countless artistic depictions of Washington. Flanagan adapted Houdon's work into a low-relief profile suitable for minting, simplifying some facial details and drapery to allow for better production in the mass coinage process. Above Washington's head, the word Liberty is inscribed in bold capital letters, a standard element in U.S. coinage that reflects one of the nation's foundational principles. To the left of the portrait appears the national motto "In God We Trust," adopted officially in 1956 but used on coinage long before that. The date 1995 is engraved at the bottom of the coin, directly below the truncation of the bust. Just behind the neckline of Washington's portrait, on the shoulder truncation, are the initials JF, indicating Flanagan authorship of the design. If the coin was minted in Denver, it bears a small D mint mark to the right of the ribbon in Washington's hair. If it was minted in Philadelphia, it has no mint mark at all, as the use of the P mint mark on quarters only began in 1980 and was omitted on Philadelphia quarters from 1981 through 1998, except for certain collector issues. The reverse, back, of the 1995 quarter carries Flanagan's original heraldic eagle design, unchanged since its introduction in 1932. At the center is an image of a bald eagle with outstretched wings, symbolizing strength, vigilance, and freedom. The eagle clutches a bundle of 13 arrows in its talons, representing the original 13 colonies and the nation's readiness to defend itself. Below the arrows lies an olive branch, a classical symbol of peace, signifying the nation's preference for peace but willingness to go to war if necessary. The eagle is stylistically influenced by neoclassical motifs common in the early American Republic, echoing the designs found on the Great Seal of the United States. Encircling the top of the reverse is the inscription United States of America, with the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, positioned just above the eagle's head. This phrase has been used on U.S. coinage since the late 18th century and underscores the union of the states into one federal entity. At the bottom rim of the reverse is the denomination quarter dollar, identifying the coin's value as 1/4 of a U.S. dollar. The 1995 quarter was struck using the clad coinage composition that had been adopted in 1965, following the end of circulating silver coinage in the United States. From 1932 through 1964, Washington quarters were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper and weighed 6.25 grams. However, due to rising silver prices and a nationwide coin shortage in the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint introduced a new planchet, coin blank, material in 1965. Since then, circulating quarters have been made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, an inner core of pure copper sandwiched between two outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving the coin a bright silvery appearance while being cost-effective and durable. The 1995 quarter thus has a total weight of approximately 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and a reeded, grooved, edge consisting of 119 reeds, which Dieter's coin clipping and counterfeiting. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the vast majority of 1995 quarters for circulation, with a combined mintage exceeding 1.1 billion coins, making this a very common date for collectors in circulated condition. The San Francisco Mint also struck proof versions of the 1995 quarter, intended for collectors. These coins are distinguishable by their S mint mark, polished planchets, and superior strike quality. Proofs often exhibit a mirror-like field with frosted design elements, a result of special minting techniques that include multiple strikes from specially prepared dies. While the basic design remained unchanged in 1995, collectors note that small variations in die wear, strike sharpness, and planchet quality can create notable differences between coins. Some 1995 quarters exhibit die cracks, die chips, or doubling, all of which are minor minting anomalies that may increase interest among specialists. Coins certified in the highest mint state grades, such as MS-67 or higher, can command premiums due to their rarity in such pristine condition. Historically, the 1995 quarter holds significance not for a dramatic design change, but because it represents one of the final issues of the traditional Washington quarter design before the revolutionary changes brought about by the Statehood Quarters program. That program, launched in 1999, introduced 50 unique reverse designs over 10 years, completely transforming the quarter from a static design to a rotating canvas for state-based iconography. Thus, the 1995 quarter stands near the end of an era, an artifact of consistency in American numismatics, where the face of George Washington and the heraldic eagle remained unaltered for generations. In sum, the 1995 Washington quarter dollar is a numismatic reflection of American tradition, patriotism, and continuity. Its classical design, based on real historical portraiture, its symbolic imagery of strength and peace, and its practical evolution in metal composition all illustrate the layered history embedded in this small but powerful piece of circulating currency. While common in the modern collector's market, it serves as a tangible link to earlier phases of U.S. coinage, bridging the nation's colonial legacy with its late 20th century present. The 1995 Washington quarter dollar is generally considered a common-date coin, with over 1.1 billion coins struck between the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making it one of the more heavily produced quarters of the 1990s. Because of its high mintage, most 1995 quarters found in circulation today hold only face value, especially in circulated condition. However, there are certain specific factors, such as condition, mint variety, and error types, that can make individual examples of the 1995 quarter rarer and significantly more valuable to collectors. The highest value for a standard 1995 Washington quarter comes from coins that are graded in exceptionally high mint state, particularly MS-67 and MS-68. While lower mint state coins like MS-60 to MS-65 are relatively common and might only fetch a few dollars, coins graded MS-67 or higher by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC are considerably rarer. This is because most coins from this period were not well preserved or struck with the kind of precision that results in top-tier grades. An MS-67 example of a 1995 D quarter might be worth $30 to $50, but a PCGS-certified MS-68 can reach prices over $1,000 at auction due to its rarity. The same applies to Philadelphia minted coins, though they are often slightly less valuable at the top end because a few more high-grade examples exist. Beyond condition, era coins from 1995 are another source of value. These include rare and collectible minting anomalies such as double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, or die breaks. While no major, well-known double die obverse (DDO) varieties have been officially confirmed for the 1995 quarter, as exists with the 1995 Lincoln cent, collectors continue to examine coins for subtle die varieties or machine doubling that can occasionally attract interest. Even a minor but well-centered off-center strike, for example, can sell for $50 to $150 depending on severity and visibility of the date. The proof version of the 1995 quarter, struck at the San Francisco Mint and bearing the S mint mark, is also collectible, especially in deep cameo (DCAM) condition. These coins were made for collectors and are not found in circulation. While typical proof coins from this year sell for $3 to $5, high-grade examples, especially Proof 70 Deep Cameo, PR70 DCAM, can command values in the $50 to $100 range, though that depends on demand and population in top grades. It's also important to consider that some collectors pursue registry sets, where they aim to collect the finest known example of every date and mint mark combination. In such cases, even a common coin like a 1995 quarter becomes more desirable in perfect condition, especially if population reports show very few coins graded at that level. When supply is extremely low in the top grades, even if the coin itself is modern and mass-produced, demand from competitive collectors can drive prices dramatically higher. In summary, while the 1995 Washington quarter dollar is not rare in a general sense, exceptional condition, unusual mint errors, and proof coins in top condition can make certain examples significantly more valuable, sometimes reaching hundreds or even over $1,000 in the right circumstances. For the average person, most 1995 quarters are worth 25 cents, but under the scrutiny of a skilled collector or grading service, a select few can prove to be surprisingly valuable. If you enjoyed today's exploration, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin discoveries, and share this video with fellow collectors. And as always, keep searching for those hidden treasures in your change. You never know when you might stumble upon the next big mystery.